Hello, it's James Disley here on behalf of my own website, www.jamesdisley.co.uk. Really sort of focusing on real estate innovation, marketing and promotion. And today I'm joined by an old friend of mine, Dominic Versace, who I've known for an awful long time around the augmented reality space. But Dominic, come on, tell everyone about it because you're moving products and things are changing and you've got some exciting stuff going on. So tell everyone what you're up to.
Yeah, sure, James. Thanks for having me. We're obviously in the property tech space, so we're looking at everything that's innovative, cutting edge in the technology area, everything from virtual reality through to augmented reality. And one of the new exciting products we've got is a 360 interactive virtual tour that you take with a mobile phone. And now that itself has opened up so many opportunities for us in different segments within the real estate space.
Yeah, and so this is, I mean, purely really this video is talking about sort of property management and surveying because I think it's a particularly interesting area for that side. But before I get into a question, I've got to ask you about the dog, the telephone, and the Barclays accelerator behind you because they...
Sure, okay. The dog is our mascot for the accelerator. Not here today. The accelerator is it's a London-based accelerator. It's powered by Techstars. I don't know if you can see that. Techstars is a world-famous, mainly in the US, accelerator. We entered that last year. We were fortunate enough out of 600 companies to win the program or be accepted into the program. So on the back of that, I know it's called an accelerator, but it actually did accelerate our business, and it actually changed our course. It taught us a lot. And from a startup, we grew up very quickly and exploited and looked for opportunities in the property sector. And this is what we're about to talk to you about today. And we do actually work with Barclays, funny enough. So Barclays have got a big real estate portfolio, obviously mortgages. They're actually quite heavy in the property space. So we're working with them quite closely on innovation and looking at opportunities of how they can use our technology within the banking sector.
Cool. I just hope the dog's not called Barclays, but look, one of
no, it's not.
Focus on primarily is
sure.
One of my big beliefs is, I mean, often a lot of people in the real estate tech space are really concentrating on the sales and the marketing aspects of using tech. So some of the most amazing bits and pieces out there are all about sales. Now, the problem is people forget about the background stuff. They forget about the important engine room, I suppose, of the property real estate stuff. So I suppose in this instance, I think you've got one with you. We're not going to go into the mechanics of how to take these immersive photos because I'm going to put that in the article which surrounds this video. But Dom, actually, have you got the small camera lens there, which you attach to your mobile phone for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so there we are. So it's just a fisheye lens attached to a
correct,
camera, which is explained in the article associated to this. And basically, as a consequence of taking photos in the right way, which we'll go through, you can start to produce some immersive photography. Now, what I'm going to do, Dom, I'm just going to share my screen, and I wonder if you wouldn't mind just explaining what we're seeing here and how, particularly property managers and surveyors can actually use your imagery.
So just before you push play, okay. So basically what this is a 360 virtual tour. It's fully interactive. The user controls the screen. It allows you to zoom in and out, but it most importantly captures absolutely everything. Here we can lay graphics over the image. In that case, paint peeling off the wall, you click it, and the paint appears. In this case, the keys appear. So we can overlay any digital content we like over the virtual tour, which allows you to effectively create a document, but make it very visual. Next, you'll see there's a little dashboard. This is all beta mode still, but it just shows you that you can navigate through a property. Again, you can zoom in and out. Got little information icons you can click on, and it highlights certain issues with the property, both positive and negative.
If I may, just for a second, because I'm very conscious that at the start of that video, I actually I didn't have it on a screen share, so I'm just going to go back a second just to show the first point. So I think it's really key because my experience of property management, one of the biggest problems is obviously it's generally on a written document or it's on you'll have photos of damage, which is sometimes a bit difficult to follow. But what you're doing here is you're actually sort of pinning the issues on the photo itself and then giving the image of the actual product.
Okay.
And it must be a valuable tool for the property, the inventory clerks, for example, who have this problem.
Exactly. I looked at some, we did some research, and I looked at some, if you just want to pause that for a second, James, I looked at some inventory reports, and they do take photos of damage, but then they have to correlate where the damage is within that room. And sometimes it's hard to decipher. It's a little bit grey. So when it comes to a tenant saying, well, that's not where it was, and it might have been there, and there's other damage in the room, this effectively, there's no disputing it. That's exactly where the damage was in the room. So in that sense, that's one of the benefits of this tool, is that it covers absolutely everything, and you know where everything is. So it's, instead of having fragmented photos, it just captures everything in spherical photos. So when 4 years later or 5 years later, when the tenant moves out, there's undisputed where the damage was or where the damage wasn't, effectively.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you can see in these little photos.
Yeah.
And I suppose, I mean, what I'm talking about here, I've said inventory clerks and property managers, but I mean, obviously, the uses of this tool can be, well, a whole load of people, right? I mean, it doesn't just have to be the whole world of property management. I mean, it can
Correct.
be surveyors, it can be a whole load of things, right?
So you touched on it before. We actually did the same thing as you said. We looked at it from a sales and marketing point of view, and then it got brought to our attention because it's so low cost and so quick to produce these tours. It opened up a whole heap of verticals for us. And one thing we noticed was wherever you write a written report and you take photos and incorporate the photos in the report, well, this can either replace that or it can accompany the report, because not only can you see it in images, but you can also add an audio file, so you can speak over it and do a commentary of what's happening in that space or in that room. So once we identify that, then yeah, we thought, okay, approach Barclays, and they thought, okay, we could use this when we sanction a mortgage. It would be interesting to, instead of getting some photos of a property, imagine getting the whole tour of the property, because all the surveyor needs is a smartphone and a lens, and they can create that, in some cases within minutes. And that adds a lot of power on the back end when someone's making a decision or risk assessment, or a property manager. It's quite a powerful tool. One of the other things we identified was, from a property management point, was a property manager gets a call from a tenant and says, okay, my front door lock is broken. Well, the property manager may not have seen that property, or if they did, they might have seen it a long time ago. They just don't know what kind of lock or what kind of door they're talking about. So there's a lot of verbal dialogue going on there. But imagine the property manager can actually go to the property while they're still sitting at their desk and remotely view and talk through with the tenant what the problems are, then be able to communicate that to a landlord or to a tradesman. That just adds such a powerful dimension to their actual job. And we realized that when we spoke to some property managers about that, that's not a sales and marketing thing. That is just something to make them more efficient with them doing their job, their day-to-day job. And we're now going to also focus on that as having it as an internal tool. So all portfolios are documented for the purpose of maintenance and for reporting, and just to have internal dialogue when they're talking about, upkeep of a property, or does it need refurbishment or not. They can basically go to the tool and have a look at it remotely. And it's a very efficient and time-saving tool.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm so pleased you use the word efficiency, because that's primarily what this is all about, right? It's just
correct.
Efficient, not only at the time, but you're sort of looking forward and looking back, most importantly.
Yeah, sure. And I heard an amazing stat not long ago. One property manager mentioned to me from a well-known agency in London, said that landlords visit their properties, in London particularly, once every 5 years on average. And I was quite staggered when I heard that. And I thought, well, probably about right. Busy lifestyle, you don't get a chance to go when the inspection's on. It's a particular time during the day, and they're probably at work. But wouldn't it be powerful from a landlord's perspective to be able to see their property remotely from the comfort of their own home once a year, once every 6 months? Surely that would give them some great peace of mind. And what a great service that the property management, the letting agency could offer to landlords by being able to do that.
And I mean, in fact, I think I know the answer, because I've seen your video about it, and I think it's very
Sure.
clever. the time it takes to do one of these property visual tours?
So a 3-bedroom house is about 9 minutes.
Okay, so that's what I mean. So when you're an inventory clerk or a property manager who's doing, I mean, I know there's some of them do twice annual inspections of a tenanted property. You're not adding an awful lot of time onto this, if anything at all, aren't you? Because
no, exactly right. But you're adding quite a powerful tool to add on to what you're already doing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, one of the things I'm always conscious of is not, people who are watching this may want to find out more, and I want to try and keep it as succinct as possible. How can people find out more about this sort of stuff and other things that you're working on, Dominic?
Sure, they can just go to our website, viewit.com, or you could just email me direct, Dominic at viewit.com is another way.
And that's obviously VIEWEET, right?
Correct, yes. VIEWEET, correct, thanks.
Perfect. This is final question. You keep on moving into tiny little exciting areas. What's next? What are you working on now?
The next thing we want to make virtual reality, Google Cardboard, mainstream within the property sector, and find we've already come up with a really low-cost solution to make it accessible for all property agents all around the world to be able to show their properties in 3D using their smartphone and Google Cardboard.
It's not, I mean, it's, this whole immersive photography, 360 photography, it's not a long way off, right? I mean, you've now got so many exciting areas which are actually starting to open up to virtual reality. You've got YouTube with 360-degree videos. You've got, I can't even go on it. It'll take ages.
I think even GoPro are getting into virtual reality as well. And because we have the content, we have over 15,000 properties already photographed using our tool. We can actually convert all those photos into virtual reality instantly. And when the app gets released, I'll let you know about it, and maybe we can have a chat about that and talk about how the Google Cardboard goggles can be mainstream in the property sector.
Totally, and you're right. GoPro have signed up with Google.
Correct. That's right. Yes.
So they're making a move. Okay. Well, look, Dominic, thank you so much for your time. For those of you who are watching this, always please do check out the website www.jamesdearsley.co.uk for all the latest in real estate tech, or the new thing, which is prop tech, as it's now labelled. So,
it's the buzzword.
Hashtag prop tech.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thanks so much, Dominic, and thank you all for watching.
No worries. Thanks, James.